Hi, welcome back. We are going to focus on how to pay off debt. Haven't you said this before? How did we get here and how are we going to get out of this mess? This is the number one concern of our consumers that contact the credit union, that and how to better their credit score. So those are some new topics that we'll take care of at a future date. But in regards to getting out of debt, we and most experts rely on the debt snowball. There are a couple different ways that you can get out of debt, and I'm going to explain the debt snowball to you when we head over to the computer today. Okay, so in order to do a debt snowball, we list our debts in order of the lowest balance to the highest balance. So in this case, it would be Kohl's because it's a $1,200 balance, and then it would be our Visa, and then it would be this car with the $11,400, and then that car of $18,900. So those are the four things that we're going to list as our debt on our debt snowball. The premise of the debt snowball is working towards paying one of the lowest amount loan off first, and so that means we are trying to gain something out of our budget here, extra, so that we're not just making the minimum $35 payment, because we know that that could take several years to pay off if we just continue to make the minimum monthly payment. And in this budget example, we do have a lot of flexibility in our flexible expenses. Like, we could eliminate clothing for a few months and say we've got all that we need, and or we could cut back on entertainment, cut back on the groceries, cut back at Target, maybe use the miscellaneous money, maybe even change the amount of money that we're putting in savings, eliminate cable. There's a lot of flexibility. Not everybody has this kind of flexibility. If you don't have this kind of flexibility, then you have to change the amount of income that you have coming in, and that's when we recommend occasionally that you go and get the second job, because when you see the debt snowball at work, you'll see that it doesn't have to, you don't have to work the extra job forever, that there is an end in sight. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write debt snowball at the top of your paper, and then you're going to list from the least amount of balance to the largest amount. So we would have Kohl's, Visa, the $295 a month car payment, and then the $400 car payment because of the balances. So you've got the $1,200 up to the $18,900, and the total amount of debt that this person is in is $35,800. And if they continue to make just the minimum payments on this, now your Visa statements, your credit card statements, tell you how long it will take you to pay off. Even a small balance can take a decade to pay off. Some of you with larger balances fear because you see that you might die actually before that pays off, making just the regular minimum monthly payment. So that's why you want to try to get these paid off as quickly as possible. So in our budget, we had $400 going towards clothing. And this family, is saying, okay, we're not going to spend that for a time being anyway. We're going to apply that $400 to our credit card. And this was in April. So instead of paying $35 on Kohl's, we're going to pay $435. But we're going to continue to pay the minimum payment on the Visa, the cars, and all of the extra goes towards Kohl's. So you can see if you're making a $435 payment in about 3 months, by June, if you start this in April, by June of 2018, that will be paid off. You'll have a zero balance. And now you can add the $435 to the 120 and start going after Visa, okay? Now you've been making a $120 payment, but now you're going to be making a $555 payment. If you're paying $555 towards a $4,000 balance, you can expect to get that paid off by February of 2019. So, in less than a year, you've got your 2 credit cards paid off if you can continue to pay the extra $400. And then you can start going after the car, okay? And instead of paying a $295 payment, you're going to pay the extra $555 plus that. That's $850 towards your balance. You should be able to get that paid off by the end of that year, December of 2019. Yay! You're really excited, and this is why the debt snowball works, because you are seeing things happen fairly rapidly. You start not just making a minimum payment of $400 on that last car, but adding what you had been paying on the other one to the $400 and making a $1,250 payment. You should have that paid off within a year, November of 2020. And so if you can do this, you would have everything paid off in about 32 months. And, you know, there's variations of this, of course. You're making, you know, if you added your payments up, $850 is what is coming out of your budget. In about 32 months, you could now have $850 go towards savings, go towards savings for a down payment for a home, savings for vacation, whatever, instead of giving it to someone else, okay? And you have your cars paid off and you drive payment free for a while. And that's how the debt snowball works. So I've been using the debt snowball with our membership for about 10 years now. It is highly recommended by Dave Ramsey, which is a national talk show host, but he created the program called Financial Peace University. He has budget forms that he gives out to people who are using the program for free. They're in his books and everything like that. But he is the one that really touts the snowball. And I believe in it because in certain situations, it does help people stay on track. It builds momentum, it gets people excited. And when you are seeing some positive things happening in a relatively short period of time, that just encourages you to keep moving forward. And there have been people, you know, it always depends on how much income you have. You know, you can't pay off $300,000 worth of debt in, you know, in 4 years if you only make $50,000 a year. But just know that if you are intentional about wanting to get out of debt and are willing to sacrifice and maybe put in some extra hours or need some extra income to build up the traction, you can make this happen. And I would love to have you call me and say, hey Kim, we're debt free, and it feels so good. So if you have questions on the debt snowball and would like to work out a plan with me and just maybe just even have me talk to you and just help encourage you, I am here for you for that. So just contact me at kwelch@pccu.com. I look forward to hearing from you.